The next ones, we are solving word problems that have fractions in them. It says Reuben's, that's supposed to say gas. Let's fix that. Reuben's gas tank is 2/3 full. After he buys 6 gallons of gas, it is 7/10 full. How many gallons can Reuben's tank hold? In other words, how full can that tank be? I'm going to just use X for my variable. So Reuben starts out, his gas tank is 2/5 of the way full. So 2/5 times the total would give you how many gallons of gas is in his tank. Reuben's then going to buy 6 gallons of gas. If I buy 6 gallons of gas, I'm going to add 6 gallons to my tank. After he does that, the tank is 7/10 of the way full. So 7/10 times whatever the total is. So I have an equation with fractions, and you could work it out with the fractions, but we learned earlier that the easiest thing probably to do is to get rid of the fractions, in this case by multiplying by 10, because 10 would be my least common multiple of 5 and 10. I'm going to multiply every term times 10, even the ones without fractions, and then I'm going to cancel. So 5 goes into 10 2 times. 2 times 2x would be 4x. Plus 10 times 6 is 60. 10 goes into 10 one time. 1 times 7x is 7x. Solving that, I'm going to move my x's over, so I'm going to subtract, my 4x. I'm already trying to subtract and get my answer. I'm going to subtract my 4x to move it to the other side. So 60 is going to equal 3x. And then when I divide by 3, x is going to equal 20 gallons. And that's how much gas Reuben's tank can hold. If it's all the way full, it'll hold 20 gallons of gas. Now the next two almost exactly like what we did here on this one. So if you're all right with this one, the next two shouldn't be too bad. Number 14, it says the container that holds water for the football team is 1/3 full. After pouring in 11 gallons of water, it is 5/6 full. How many gallons can the container hold? So again, we're going to let X indicate how full it could be if it was all the way full. Starts out, the container is 1/3 of the way full. So 1/3 times that total would tell me how many gallons are in the container. I'm going to pour in 11 gallons of gas. 11 gallons of water. I hope they're not drinking gas. I'm going to pour in 11 gallons of water. Now it is 5/6 of the way full. So now equals, it is 5/6 of the way full. So 5/6 times the total of x. Fix that. So 1/3 x plus 11 equals 5/6x. Again, I can go ahead and multiply by my common denominator. In this case, 6 is going to be my least common multiple since I have a 3 and a 6. If I multiply everything times 6, 3 goes into 6 2 times. 2 times 1x is 2x. 6 times 11 would be 66. And then 6 goes into 6 one time. 1 times 5x is 5x. If I want to go ahead and solve that, I'm going to move my x to the other side. So I'm going to subtract my 2x. 66 is then going to equal 3x. 5x minus 2x. And then, of course, I have to go ahead and divide by my 3. And 66 divided by 3 would give me 22 gallons if my tank is all the way full, or my container is all the way full. Number 15, the container that holds water for the football team is 3/4 full. After pouring out 7 gallons of water, it is 1/2 full. How many gallons can the container hold? So my container is 3/4 of the way full. Again, I'm going to let X represent a full tank or full container. So 3/4 of the way full, 3/4 times my total. I'm going to pour out 7 gallons. So this case, instead of adding, I'm going to take water out of my container. So I'm going to subtract the 7 gallons. After I pour out 7 gallons, my container is only half full. Again, since I've got those fractions, first thing I want to do is get rid of the fractions. I'm going to multiply by the common denominator of 4. And then I can do some canceling. 4 goes into 4 once. 1 times 3x is 3x. Here, 4 times my minus 7, so minus 28, equals 2 goes into 4, 2 times 1x, going to give me 2x. So if I subtract on this one and move my 3x to the other side, I am going to get a negative, but since that's a negative already, that's going to be okay. I'm going to have negative 28 equals 2 minus 3 gives me negative 1x. And if I divide by my negative 1, 28 is going to be my answer. And so 28 gallons is how much water that container could hold.